Welcome to the course. Have you ever wondered whether investments are about more than just the numbers? For instance, does the sentiment of a stock actually matter? And no, I don't mean you and I discussing and debating the advantages and disadvantages of sentiment. I mean, can we prove whether sentiment matters? So can we prove that statistically by relying on the data instead of relying on personal opinions? This really is such a simple question. But of course, answering this question rigorously opens up a whole host of other questions. For instance, what does sentiment even mean? So how do you define sentiment in the context of stocks? Why should it matter? So why even bother with defining sentiment and then measuring it? How do we actually measure it? So what sort of data can we use, or what sort of data should we use to measure sentiment? How do you then link it to investments? And perhaps most importantly, how do you really know if it matters? So how do you prove statistically that it actually matters? We'll be exploring and answering all of these questions in this course. And we'll be doing a whole lot more, like a lot more. There's so much to learn in this course, so much to grow and thrive, so much detail in every single aspect that I could spend a good hour just describing the sheer volume of skills you'll gain by taking this course. But I think the real takeaway is that this is not really a course. It's so much more than a course. It's a system. A robust and rigorous system that leverages the power of text and numeric data, as well as mathematics and statistics. So there's no guesswork involved. And you'll actually build this system from scratch, learning everything from how you can take an investment idea or thesis and transform it into a testable hypothesis, even if you don't know what a testable hypothesis is. You learn about the different types of data sources that you can and should work with, where you can find them, and how you should clean it to get it ready for investment analysis. You learn how to quantify sentiment from scratch, using nothing but raw text data and the power of Python. And you learn how you can test and validate your core hypotheses statistically. In other words, you'll witness a whole new world of what's possible when you combine text and numeric data and leverage the power of Python. And all of this is just about scratching the surface on everything that's included in this course. But let me be clear, this course is not easy. Seriously, it requires a lot of work on your part, because it's packed with loads of step-by-step hands-on walkthroughs working with real-world data. And the idea is that you're working with me throughout the course. And there's loads of quizzes and assignments to help you stay on track too. But this course is not for everyone. For a start, we assume that you know how to code, at least basically, in Python. So we don't assume that you're an expert in Python, and you don't need to be an expert in Python to take the course. But you do need to know the difference between lists, tuples and dictionaries. And you need to know the difference between strings, integers and floats. Because we're not going to explain what these are. Instead, we're going to use these data structures to achieve our goal, to conduct investment analysis using natural language processing or NLP, and to ask and explore interesting questions. And so I really must stress that while we will explain every single line of code one step at a time, it is important that you know at least the basics of Python before you take this course. We also assume that you know the basics of investment analysis. So for instance, we assume that you know how to calculate stock returns and you know how to quantify risk, for instance by measuring the standard deviation of the returns of a stock. And on the note of prerequisites, let me stress that this course really isn't for you if you want to learn investment analysis and portfolio management from scratch. It's also not for you if you want to learn Python for finance from scratch. And perhaps most importantly, this is really not for you if you just want a quick win. This course is anything but a quick win. It's long, it's detailed, it's rigorous, and it will require a lot of work on your part to really get the most out of it. And so this course really is for you if you want to leverage the power of text data and apply it for investment analysis. If you want to take your existing investment analysis knowledge to the next level. And if you want to create a system rigorously. We've designed this course for distinction. We've applied the same tried and tested, proven to work teaching techniques that we've applied on our clients for the last 10 years. And we've developed this course on the go, simulating the real-world investment research and analysis environments where you don't have all of the answers right from the word go. So we'll explore the unknowns together. and you'll apply what you learn immediately with loads of helpful practice activities, including hundreds of progressively challenging quiz questions, plus assignments that take you outside your comfort zone. And while there is a lot of information in this course, you'll never feel overwhelmed thanks to our structured learning path. Throughout the course, you'll engage with carefully thought out, clutter-free study materials that break the subject down to its core. And by enrolling on the course, you'll get access to all of the HD video lessons that go into so much detail, it's insane. And you'll get all of the study materials, including the slides, quiz questions with solutions, and all of the code that we write from scratch in the course in both notebook and .py versions. This is one of our most detailed, robust, rigorous, and comprehensive courses yet. I'm incredibly excited to be able to teach you investment analysis with natural language processing. And I really can't wait to see you master it. I'll see you in a bit.